So, what are the clinical symptoms of the aging cervical spine? Cervical radiculopathy most commonly occurs secondary to a herniated uh, nucleus pulposus or the slip disc in the cervical spine. So many of times, the patients and the candidates also gets confused in regards to what are the different symptomatologies or what are the different pathologies or the symptoms that are associated with the cervical spine. And candidates do get confused when terms like radiculopathy and myeloradiculopathy comes in because they don't understand the difference between these pathologies. So cervical radiculopathy in itself is a radiculopathy that occurs secondary to a herniated disc. Whereas when we talk about cervical spondylotic radiculopathy, that means it may not be because of a soft herniated disc, but it may be because of some degenerative process like even a osteophyte or a disc osteophyte complex can cause the radicular symptoms. Apart from that, whenever the nerve root is getting compressed, these patients characteristically get the pain in the upper limb in the said dermatomal distribution. So that is a radiculopathy. However, when the compression is significantly higher and over there along with the nerve root, the spinal cord is also getting compressed, that basically is myelopathy. So when the patient is having a significant compression of the spinal cord only and not the nerve root involvement per se or the symptoms that give us the nerve root involvement, so in that cases, it is termed as cervical spondylotic myelopathy. Why spondylotic? Because these are most commonly degenerative changes which cause the myelopathy. Now, if the patient is having both, that is the radicular symptoms as well as the myelopathy symptoms, so in that case, it is termed as cervical spondylotic myeloradiculopathy. The patient is having compression of the spinal cord as well as the nerve roots. So these are the patients who are just going to have the neck pain and not going to have the radicular symptoms per se.